that volume on that? On him? Skip it. Can I get this drink? No, I just need. Yeah, just take this. If you just take it off, if you just take the cover off, because I'm live. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I have a lot of hiccups right now, but it's all good. God is good. Thank you for tuning in to 8 p.m. live show. I like it. I'm the host with the most. You know what that is. That's Street Savvy, folks. Yes, that's Street Savvy. We on this lovely Thanksgiving Day. It's just prevalent that we all be thankful for what God has gave us on a great day like this. I am grateful that God has blessed me in a lot of different ways in my life, especially with my children, as well as for me to be married for the first time in my life. He has gave me a lot to be thankful for on days like this. I'm not responsible for the music you hear in the background. That is Bobby Brown. I don't own the copyrights, neither the lyrics. Bobby Brown do and RCA Music. But I love hearing Bobby. You want to give me volume on that? Bobby is one of my childhood heroes. Period. In news today, we'll start off with the news of the day, folks. I'm getting off track. News of the day, which is going to be sports. Earlier today, Green Bay beat the Detroit Tigers. Beat them in a good score. Good game. The second game I watched was the Dallas Cowboys. It was a rout. These guys is playing. They playing. My Cowboys is playing. They beat their rivals, interconference rivals, Washington Commanders. They won with a convincing score. The score in the Dallas Cowboy game. The Cowboys, 10-45. I mean, Mr. Bland got his season leading fifth interception for return touchdown. That's the league record. Dallas is running that. They're number one in defense and takeaways, number one in offense scoring, sufficiency, number one in defense stopping the run, number one in defense first and second and third and fourth quarter of not scoring, number one in yards, rushing yards, you name it. Cowboys are really helling on this year. They're the team to beat, in my opinion. If they don't go to Super Bowl, it's going to be a shame. It's going to be a shame. Yeah, folks. And the story of the day, that was the news of the day for sports. The story of the day is yours truly, Bobby Brown. I've been a fan of Bobby since the late 80s, personally. And Bobby Brown has been an idol to me because of the work and the profession he is when it comes to him doing stage work. And the man's stage work is impeccable. In our era, the 80s to the 90s and the 2000s, still going on on tour with No Audition and doing solo acts. He's still that guy. But as he was to me when I was growing up, he was someone, when times is tough, I listen to his music. Or I love to see his live concerts or any interviews. The man carried himself well. The man did all the right things, especially in the early 90s. He had hits. Late 80s, early 90s, he had hits on his own. He took his touring overseas to Japan and so forth. And as someone who knows the Browns family, know him real well, I feel like the guy never get his just due. There's always some bad stuff he's running into because of self or other things around him, and he never gets his just due. Just recently, I seen in Boston, they gave him an avenue, Bobby Brown's Way. I think that was so big for Bobby. He's a great humanitarian as far as domestic violence. He's a pillar for that in his neighborhood and his community. And well with his wife Alicia, you know, he has a cooking channel. He has a great seasoning for chicken and all sorts of meats. If you have you, he's done a lot and he's still doing it. I hear he's losing weight. He's taking care of himself much better. And Bob, if you anywhere listening to this podcast, man, I appreciate for the person you are and what you have done for me in my life, mentally and physically. I always champion for you to win at all costs. When you was going through your ups and downs, I was champion for you to get better. He's going to get better. I was never biased because you was always a man who admit your wrongs and your doubts. You never took that away from us. You always showed that you was a pure person, you know, but to me, it was an unfortunate thing to get a lot of the blame for what you was going through in your marriage with Whitney. And I think a lot of us feel that way in the world, you know. But what I like you as a man as I got older, you never threw your wife, your ex-wife up under the bus. You upheld her to the standards that you would like to be upheld to. But nobody gave you that break or chance. And you upheld your wife. And I want you to know from a man to a man, I appreciate what you did for Whitney, as well as Bobby Christina. And my blessings go out to you because you lost Bobby Jr. as well. And you still stand on your own too. So this podcast, I'm dedicating to you, my brother. And the news of the day is about you, B. Brown. God bless you, bro. Bobby Herbert Brown. Love you, bro. Keep up the good work. Keep up the success. Hopefully one day I get you on a phone call and on the set of Street Savvy, the podcast. Bobby Brown, this show is dedicated to you. Okay. With that said and done, let's get to the topic. The topic of the day. How many mistakes have you made in your life? Wow. That's deep. Well, I think mistakes in life, it's made to make sure that you don't keep doing the same thing. Some mistakes we make were mistakes we made when we was younger. We didn't know no better. And you got some mistakes we still keep continuously making. And at some point they bite you. Or they harm you in a way that, hey, you kept going to the well. You kept making them poor choices. There's good choices and bad choices and mistakes. It's helpful to your welfare. You don't keep making them bad mistakes. Mistakes we all do at some point. Wow, that plate is looking gorgeous over there. Mistakes are made for all of us to keep trying different things. Let me cut in and show you this plate. This plate is fabulous. This is my Thanksgiving plate, folks. I don't know if you can see it. It got all the ingredients on it. It's got, oh my God, stuffing with all the meats, turkey, seafood salad, and one of the best macaroni and cheese with 7 different cheeses, folks. Yes, I'm going to definitely eat after this podcast. Thanks to my wife and my kids and myself. We all cooked together first time as a family on the grill as well as the stove. My daughter made some biscuits as well. We're having a feast over here. But let's get back to the mistakes. Yeah, mistakes are learning curves. I made mistakes when I was younger. I made mistakes when I was younger. Just a little bit. Yes, I made a few mistakes that, in hindsight, God propelled me through them. I'm human. I'm going to make those mistakes. But some, I learn quickly. I would say, like, getting in trouble. I got in some trouble. But it only took me a few times. And I learned that jail wasn't for me. A lot of crime wasn't for me. And I had my fair share. But when it comes to breaking the law, I wasn't doing that in the public eye or nowhere else, or behind closed doors at all. But when it came to personal mistakes, I kept making them. And I kept reiterating myself, getting better daily and monthly, yearly. Self-awareness. Because those mistakes was crucial. Having babies out of wedlock, just being a baby father. No, me correct. Just being a baby daddy. Wasn't standing up and being a man who was supposed to be for my children. Wasn't keeping occupation, keeping a job. And I was still learning myself. I want to do other things, plus party, and plus go out and have multiple partners to hang out with. I wanted it all. And those was mistakes. Because I valued it. I didn't know my value or my worth to know better. Those mistakes stops when you figure out who you are and what you want to do in life and what your occupation fully should be. And what I mean by that is where you want to work at. You know, where you want to work, who you want to be around. You know, and how you feel about yourself. You know, some of the mistakes are valuable. Some mistakes you can't come back from. And I honestly believe I made a lot of mistakes with women in my life. I shouldn't have dealt with some. Some shouldn't have dealt with me, period. I wasn't that guy to deal with. You know, I know I was a good soul. And I meant well, but sometimes I was a lot more learning than anything. I wasn't selfish at all, because I give to the world if I got it, and I would teach and give the knowledge that I have and pass it to someone else. But those mistakes too to be costly. Have lost a lot around me, as far as lives and friends, businesses, jobs. Future endeavors with things I should be in, woulda, coulda, shoulda. And I don't blame no one else. I hate the blame game. That's one thing that kept me studying in this life and making mistakes, is I didn't blame nobody else. I choose not to. I chose to take that route of blame yourself. The truth will set you free. And to this day, I tell my kids that, hey, the truth will set you free. Mistakes is something that you don't want to keep doing in life. You don't want to keep letting it hamper you. And do all costs. Because it will bite you. It will bite you. You know, and you'll be the cause for that. You know, you'll be the one that's persecuted in self. You'll be the one that has to take full responsibility. For starters, I dated some women. Well, not even dated. I side-chicked a lot of women. Yeah, coming up, I was humping. And that was wrong. That was a totally mistake. And doing that, I don't think my babies ever will be. But I had a lot of kids. I was doing stuff, made a lot of kids I shouldn't have made. On me making those childish, bad decisions that I didn't know no better. And you would say, well, one time, two, three. Yeah, and I still was bumping myself in the head. Boop, boop. I still was bumping myself in the head. And when you finally notice, whoa, I'm on an island by myself. Child support ain't playing. They ain't giving me the boat. Child support wanted to smoke. The baby mother wanted to smoke. It was serious. And it's times when I should have paid definitely more attention more. I should have wanted more too for myself, as well as for my kids. I couldn't defend for them. I vaguely had a job in certain years. But what I didn't know how to do, and still know is to know how to hustle. I definitely know how to hustle. I definitely know how to put it together. And I didn't make too many mistakes. Love you as well. Love you. My children, my wife just walked by and says, love you. Appreciate you guys. I made that tough mistake. But I dealt with it myself. Through self-prosperity. By hustling. And then, do I think hustling was a mistake? I beg to differ with you. Hustling taught me a lot. The streets taught me a lot. Just enough, actually. In the same token, anybody who knows me would tell you, oh yeah, he definitely gonna speak his mind. He definitely gonna give out blessings he already got. He ain't gonna let me hurt myself. And if I'm trying to do something, he's gonna let me know wrong for right. You know? He's gonna make sure that I don't do it to hurt myself. And try to make sure I have the right tools for me. I'm always trying to be Captain Sable to a lot of people. You know, this topic is how many mistakes you made in your life. I speak from experience. And the only thing that bothers me today, a lot of us in our mistakes blame other people. Their mama, their daddy, the ex-girlfriend, the ex-boyfriend before, the job, the boss, the central, the car. But folks, let me throw you this knowledge. We all make a lot of mistakes, right? We all call in appointments, school, work. You don't want to hang out with this person. You don't want to go out with this guy or this woman. You don't want to make that dentist appointment because you're too tired from work. But I'm going to tell you something. Before you do all that and do all that again and then keep repeating that, just remember, there'll come a time when God make that appointment. God make that judgment for you. And guess what? You ain't going to be able to call in, step out, cheat, lie, steal. You're going to make that appointment. No more late, no more less early. You're going to make that appointment right there. It ain't going to be online or through the phone. It's going to be a direct toll on you. So think about those measures. And what's eliminate those mistakes? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of us done make some real mistakes that they regret today. And I'm not just talking about with kids or women out of wedlock or one night stands or woulda, couldas. I done been down that road. And I'm still hurting today. You know? And it's always thought of when you try to do the right thing, think you're doing the right thing, is actually the wrong thing. It's actually. I ain't gonna hold you. Because you're not evaluating those mistakes you made. Or anyone who's told you they was a mistakes. You're not justifying that, yo, let me not do that no more. Let me not try that again. Or let me not go over there. This young lady has a boyfriend and I know it. That's a mistake. Period. Some things is not to do. It's not the challenge, folks. And we do. We challenge folks. We challenge the word of God. We challenge mental situations. We challenge husband, wife, spouse, kids, mom, kids, fathers. We challenge physics of life. We challenge Mother Nature. That's the weird thing you're doing. We challenge. And we make mistakes on every which thing I just named. We make either that fatal mistake or the heavily costly mistake. You know, one mistake I was doing recently was going out there and mess with the casinos. Crazy. You know, I thought I knew what I was doing, but gambling is not the way to go. Gambling, betting on anything is not the way to go. You may think it's good for you because you always win. And it's each his own. It ain't for me. Even playing a daily lottery is not for me. I lose more than I win. I don't care if it's 50 cents, 2 quarters, 3 quarters. You might say, well, they ain't losing. Yes, it is. You're giving some free money to something that's yours. You already got it. You're giving it away. You earned it. Those are the small mistakes we can lock down. We can occur. We can stop. And that's on the real. Folks, we endure a lot of pain, a lot of agony, a lot of stressful times and days because our own self-stupidity. Selfish, worthless things we do or say to people. We don't take heed to what we say or the rules we put down. We do otherwise. That's how come a lot of things in relationships come out. No bull. And that's the truth. You know? It's one of my favorite songs. Good to know that the ladies are mine. Sing it, Bobby. But you know, mistakes are made to make us stronger and wiser and learn a real valuable lesson, folks. Cut down on your true mistakes, the little mistakes, your big mistakes, the small mistakes, and just watch and take care of you. And have faith in God. Some things comes reality when you keep doing it. So, folks, that was one of my great topics today on a lovely show, Street Savvy. I'm the host with the most, Jay Works. Remember, mistakes is not made to be made all the time. Minimize your mistakes, folks. Learn who you are. Learn self-worth. Keep relationship with God. Trust yourself and no one else. God bless you. Make sure you subscribe and like and share that button. Street Savvy. We out. Finish the rest of your night. And God bless America.